Hey guys, what's up? Well, today is whatever day it is. I think it's Thursday, if I can recall. And this video has nothing to do with fitness or nutrition. Well, it kind of does, more on the nutrition side. But what I want to do is actually I want to share some of my guilty pleasures with you, because I'm not perfect, no one is, and I wanted to just kind of divulge some of my weaknesses. So if you are like Superman's nemesis, kryptonite, then you'll know what to attack me with to kind of weaken my powers. So I want to start off with food-wise. I'm a big foodie. I love food, and that's part of the dilemmas, right? You know, I'm always advising and promoting and endorsing like healthy food and more of it plant-based, more of it raw is better off. And that's generally the way I tend to eat. But I also really enjoy sweets, and that's my downfall. Is I have a big sweet tooth. So you know, like chocolates. Well, when I lived in France, obviously I was exposed to pastries and chocolate croissants and all that stuff. So, you know, that stuff is awesome, but I try not to eat too much of it because, again, it's just, you know, full of wheat and all that other great stuff that we don't need to be eating too much of. But anyways, you know, if I have access to a beautiful chocolate croissant, there is one restaurant in Toronto that makes the best chocolate croissants on this side of the Atlantic. I will definitely indulge in one of those. Otherwise, some of the things I really like, chocolate, I love. So chocolate definitely is one of my weaknesses. Amy actually she's a mean baker, so sometimes she'll bring stuff home from the store and I'm like, what are you doing with this stuff? And so I'll give you an example here. So last week we had this really interesting looking recipe for a healthy looking banana bread. So it had like, I think it was like a coconut based banana bread. So it used like coconut oil and coconut flour, and there was no wheat, and we're like, let's give this a try. So she made it, and when she told me it was ready, she was just like, "This is disgusting. You don't even want to have it. You know, you don't even want to try it." I took a little bite, and I'm like, "There's no way." So, anyways, having made that, she was then inspired to make a full-out normal banana bread, and it was unbelievable. Like, she's got this skill for making banana bread that like is to die for. So, anyways, the problem is that when she makes this kind of stuff, which is thankfully not often. I have a tough time just having one piece. I could literally eat the whole piece, the whole loaf of banana bread. So, you know, it's a little piece. You know, put some nice butter on it, eat it up. So that was a big weakness of mine. So, as a rule of thumb here, my big weakness is the sweets, and that's why I'm a big proponent of also doing things that will help you kind of cut down that sweet tooth, because I know how debilitating it can be. So before I go into some of my other guilty pleasures, I want to ask you the same thing. So below this video on the blog, if you're on the blog, if you're not on the blog, go to the blog. I want to ask you for your guilty pleasures. You know, what are maybe one or two things that is a real indulgence, is a real guilty pleasure for you? And if like me, you like desserts and have more of a sweet tooth, why not share a recipe that is kind of maybe a little bit on the healthier side, like not full blown out like banana split with just nonsense on it, but maybe what's a better, healthier alternative that you might enjoy on a regular basis. Share the recipe below on the blog. I'm sure I'll definitely try it out. I'm sure a lot of other people reading the comments will obviously try that out as well. So it's kind of like, you know, sharing the good stuff, and that would be awesome. So just let me know below on the blog what's, you know, one or two guilty pleasures that you have. If you have a cool recipe, share it. And if not, that's okay as well. Now, the other guilty pleasure I have is I'm a big fan of movies. I love watching movies, and specifically like ridiculously stupid movies. So the cheesy comedies. Some of my favorite movies are Nacho Libre. If you've never seen this movie, it is awesome. If you like this kind of ridiculous stuff. So Jack Black is the main actor. He plays a Mexican luchador, so one of those Mexican wrestlers, and he's got the whole costume and outfit on. So if you enjoy this kind of stuff, the next couple movies I'm going to tell you, you have to watch on this, in case you haven't already. So Nacho Libre is definitely on the top of my list. It's awesome. The next one would be anything from Will Ferrell. So one of my personal favorites actually is Blades of Glory, which I think is one of his more underrated movies. But anything with Will Ferrell is awesome. Blades of Glory is just hilarious because John Heater's in it as well, and they go on just, you know, on crazy tangents. So that's the second one. The third one, obviously, is the classic Zoolander. And Zoolander, you know, with Derek Zoolander and Hansel. such a kind of iconic film from, I guess, early 2000s. And the funny thing is that the first time I watched it, I'm like, oh, this is retarded. There's no way I'm going to actually watch this movie. And I watched it, got through it once. The second time I watched it, things just started clicking, and it was awesome. So cheesy comedies, I love Zoolander, Blades of Glory, Nacho Libre. Those are three of the top ones. Then you got things like Dumb and Dumber and some other really cool films in that genre. So again, in the blog section, in the comments below, let me know. What are some of your guilty pleasures? Whether it's desserts or stupid movies or anything of the like, right? I just want to show you that sometimes maybe I come across as being a little bit. I don't know, maybe you guys have the perception of me being a certain way. I also want you to know that I do have a lot of faults. Not that these are faults, but there's just, they humanize you, right? They make you who you are. And that's the way it is. And if you know me at a personal level, you'll know that I'm actually a really ridiculous kid. I'm about 4 years old, about 5 years old, and sometimes I put this kind of more serious persona across with a lot of my stuff. But if you know me personally, you'll know that I'm pretty ridiculous. And maybe I'll bust out some of my acts at a future point in time. But you may have seen glimpses of my ridiculousness at some point in the past. So anyways, that's today's video. I just wanted to show you that I do have guilty pleasures and indulgences like we all do, and I'd like to hear some of yours as well. So just post your comments below on the blog, and I look forward to reading them. I'll talk to you soon.